problems in less than 5 minutes and go over the most common mistakes where we get the answers wrong. Okay, let's go over here. This is a quick recap of derivative of natural exponential function. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x, right? Exponential function. So let's take a derivative of this function jx. This is equal to simply derivative of this power function plus derivative of this with respect to x, right? So e to the 2.4. Okay, applying the power rule here as discussed before, we just bring down the power in multiplication to this x to the 2.4 minus 1 plus, now what is the derivative of e raised to 2.4? Hoping you are not saying it's simply e to the 2.4. No, that's a big mistake here. Make sure you're paying attention. This is not e to the x. X means it's a variable and it's changing, right? Then there's a slope. The reason we are taking derivative. And in this scenario, this is simply just e to the 2.4, which is simply just, I think e is approximately 2.17, if I'm not incorrect, something like that. And then basically it's just a number, right? E raised to 2.4 is simply just a big, larger number. So, and we already know this is constant derivative rule, right? That derivative of constant is what? Zero. So that's the most commonly made mistake, that we have to pay attention that there's no e to the x, which is a variable. And in this scenario, this is simply just a constant, a big number, e raised to 2.4. Therefore, the derivative of this function, e to 2.4, is a 0. Therefore, the answer for this function derivative is 2.4 x. This is 2.4. This is not 2.3 now. Okay, again, it's 2.4 minus 1. The other way of writing 1 is what? 1.0. This is simply just 1, right? So we have 2 minus 1 is 1.4. Positive 1.4, because 2.4 is positive and 1 is negative. Okay, here is your answer. Now solve this problem real quick. Derivative of this function. Make sure you are solving this before I can finish solving. This helps with problem solving, and make sure we are not making any mistake. Just make sure at the end, Okay. So again, applying the same, right, constant multiply rule here, and then the constant multiply power rule here. But before I do that, I'm just going to simplify this expression real quick. This is simply 3e to the x plus, another way of writing this is what? This is just a cube root, right? That means x to 1 over 3. And if I'm going to write this in the constant multiply format, plus 4 times x, this is going in numerator, that means it's becoming negative, right? So this is what I'm taking the derivative of. So here we go. So derivative of 3 e to the x plus derivative of 4x negative 1 over 3. Okay, here constant multiply rule here is 3 times derivative of, okay, this is with respect to, you can write this as d over y, right? Just do either way, Okay, so this is e to the x plus, again, constant multiply rule here, 4 times derivative of x to the negative 1 over 3. Okay, now we know that this is a derivative of exponential function e to the x, which is simply just e to the x plus 4 times applying the power rule here. Bring down the power in multiplication to this variable x raised to the negative 1 over 3 minus 1. So what we end up with 3 e to the x minus 4 times negative 1 over 3 is minus 4 over 3 x to the negative 1 over 3 minus 1. So this is simply what? This is not negative 2 over 3. This is negative 1 over 3 minus 1. This is equal to, take the LCM, right? So 3, not LCM, I mean, no. So this is equal to negative 1 minus common denominator here. So 3, negative 3. So this is equal to negative 4 over 3. X to the negative 4 over 3. This is your answer, or I'm just going to further simplify this as this was written in the cube root of form. So I'll just write this as 3 e to the x minus 4 over 3 x cube root of x, because this is simply just x, right? This is simply just 3 to the x plus 4 over x to the positive 4 over 3. So this is just another way of writing it, but yeah, here is your answer. So I really hope you're getting used to solving derivatives and finding these common patterns instead of just memorizing the formulas and paying attention to these details. As if this is a function, like there's a variable involved, or it's just simply a constant that being confused about. So yeah, I hope this helps. Thank you.